on the tracks. So when that final 3, 4, 5, 12, I don't know, people have to be aware of the greatest threat on the map. It is not Schreikel Jordan like many might believe. It is in fact the train conductors. So our own trio of trains. This is a 13-team event, and they have to worry about these fast-moving obstacles.
And sadly, we don't have the whistle to back it up, but it will be here in spirit. And hopefully, you know, when Magical's feeling better, he'll be able to watch this game and know that he was here in spirit with the bullet trains coming into game 6. And the big storyline here, Twin, is what was looking like a tragic game 5 for TLD getting knocked out at 12th actually gets followed up by the people ahead of them, Moonlit Battlegrounds, getting knocked out at 8th with very low kill points, if they had any at all, to show for it. So what we thought was maybe going to be TLD not having a chance, all of a sudden kind of flipped the script, and now TLD and Moonlit Battlegrounds really going to be duking it out here for that first place spot.
So TLD is going to need to recreate their game 4. Like, is there a chance? Yes, but it is a very difficult one. Fortunately, again, they're up to the task. They understand the assignment. And there's one more thing that I was just reminded about too. This might also be the worst storm shift for Moonlit Battlegrounds, because if you're in any of the Discords, you've probably seen one of the many gifs of Pine getting hit by a train.
Yeah, and it's a spicy drop here as we see PSA and SMH like literally land on top of each other. Moonlit Battlegrounds right to the south as well. They get the early level 2, improving off to the right, just trying to find anything here to get some help through and get some levels. Moonlit Battlegrounds, though, want to basically put together the same kind of game that TLD had, where they want to lock in that first place spot. So they're dropping in early. They drop a camp south, get that early level 3, looking to contest this boombox.
Early level 3, look at the damage that came out! Half is able to get a drop on Spade Storms, and that's big because we saw the early kill from Schreikel Jordan, so they were poised to actually start snowballing, but all these teams in Wraith's Row just making it so difficult for them.
SMH played that great, like improving goes over, gets the res while half pressures the flank of MB, and then the rest of them come over and they're able to finish off that kill and kind of stop MB from getting such early tempo, even though they were down a member right off the bat. So really nice from SMH there to kind of recover, get their footing back almost instantly. As we're down here, we see Cat around the gold armor looking to, you know, a bit of a pride game for them at this point. They're really looking to put together something big here, show that they are still top dogs, you know, in these tournaments. And they have some crazy players, Twin. It's literally King, Nidhogg, Kenneth, and Lods.
Yes, yes. And that, like, if this is your first tournament watching this, I need you to understand how devastating these 3 players are individually. If you are playing ranked and you run into one of them, they are winning that lobby and you are going to feel helpless. But it just shows how much the competitive scene has evolved. And it's one of those, like, everybody has a bad day, and unfortunately this is Cat's bad day. But looking, it looks like Moonlit Battlegrounds is up. They had all that room in the north to fight, and look, Lods gets stove on, but he keeps fighting.
Almost a dunk coming through there from Scrub. Good look. I think Hat knows that they put up a bunch of kills that game. Looking to do the same thing. Lord Vader shifts it in, trying to play up the tempo he had last game. Kenneth low, but they're actually able to trade back. Kenneth gets a little bit of a heal through coming from Nidhogg. Nidhogg actually on the Zeph, switching over to the support, able to completely turn that fight with that clutch heal, keeping Kenneth alive. They trade back. Now it's just going to be one for Hat.
That kiting right there too, that able to like fight back and stay out of the range of Kenneth on the Firefox on Felix was actually insane. Stayed just outside of Brawl's range while still being able to contribute to the fight. That is so difficult to do. And Nidhogg and everybody else diving in, making that like human barrier to deny the Brawl that kill to keep him in the fight was so well coordinated by Cat right there.
Yeah, so just Krilla left. He is going to have a lot of space to get this beacon, so Hat's going to be back in it, but a little behind tempo. Definitely not the crazy high tempo start that they wanted to have, you know, trying to repeat last game. And I want to call something out here, Twin. I want to kind of get your thoughts on it before we dive into too much crazy action. We basically see Moonlit Battlegrounds running a fairly standard comp. They are insane comfort picks, but they've basically been running the Brawl on Height, the Myth on Spade Storms, and the Zeph on Pine, right? And when you look at that comp, you have a ranged carry, you have a melee engage, you have a clear support that can actually pump heals and damage at the same time, along with grenade utility. This is a very kind of powerful, similar to why we saw a lot of the squads being more front to back. It is, you know, kind of having all the roles filled. We do not see that in trios, bro. That is not necessarily the meta. You look at these teams getting panned to, it's so often 3 DPS. And we just looked at Cat down there, seeing Nidhogg switch to the Zeph, and the fact that TLD is now playing more of a front-to-back comp with more of a true support. Lemur, you know, rocking the Oath. I think more teams are leaning into, you know, seeing the kind of strength of what those clear roles can give to a comp, and potentially saying, hey, maybe we don't want to YOLO with 3 DPS, but with 3 DPS can certainly work, because that's what Hat did last game.
No, and I'm so glad you brought this up, and you got the notes through just before this fight. Looks like the hook missed, and so Sprokane going on a comfort pick, probably going to have to concede that spot as another fight is going on between SMH and Hog. Stevenator getting chipped so low, narrowly surviving, but now it's just having to escape. Gets the spike down, and surely, despite the grenade, Lunaris able to secure the win right there. And look at that, it's more of a comfort pick. But the comfort pick right here is still from CBC. They have the range damage, they have the sustain via Oath and the armor, but instead they're trading out the dive and engage for instead that hook. But it's still still a similar-ish concept to what you were saying. And yeah, it's just that reminder, we were going through the meta of not seeing the healers, but now we're reminded the pivotal role they can play, even though it's trios. Just they're having to step up and be willing to do the damage, as we've seen from Schreikel Jordan this entire series. Like, he's almost doubling up as that DPS with that healer. And yeah, we're covering the roles. And look at it right here. TLD, we have the engage on Felix. We have Abador with the poke and that range damage, and we have the sustain tank. And it's one of those, like, I'm glad teams and trios are seeing that it's the concepts of everybody filling these roles while still picking different hunters to do it that I'm appreciative of seeing.
Yeah, and it's like cool to see. I think that's one of the things I've enjoyed most about the shift from squads to trios is it's cool to see creative comps, like based more off of comfort picks or cool potential synergies, actually work, right? And we see it some, you know, from teams like SVI is another good example where they basically just run their own comp. And it's not this like crazy damage comp. It doesn't have any crazy, you know, support or anything. It's like a very specific, like Bebo calculated strategy comp against, you know, thank you. And you really have to see it. TLD shipping it over the top on the PSA here. As we're modeling it, Pamu actually so low here. Not much he's going to be able to do. TLD looking very strong with that frog jump boombox lined up. And earlier, Luna did show us Cat has all 3 golds from that scavenger base start. CBC almost kind of getting pinched there. Moonlit Battlegrounds trying to maybe look for some pressure as we pan over here to SVI. Down a member on the back foot. And yeah, there is Cat with their full gold armors after winning that battle down in the grind.
So more on those notes in a second. Stevenator getting absolutely chunked down by RTK. Lunaris trying to make a move right now, able to kite out, but their trophy is going to be the crystal, courtesy of Stevenator, who looks like the train is going to be able to secure that. SVI, plenty of room, going to be able to get this res off at the heart. And now we have GCR and TLD knowing they've got to put up a game, are trying to fight everybody. Anybody the train! Shoot!
They're too good. What? A Lemur? On-card? What? They're what?
Oh no,
the bullet train, bro. You can't.
It.
Sometimes you can't account for it. Too deep of a mental stack. You need the kills.
And that is so bad for him because look, he's the last one left. And he's going to have to get away, not able to get on the train. They covered that option. And this is so big. That one misstep by Lemur might cost TLD the tournament.
This is going to be tragic if Phenom gets taken out here. Gate is down, doing everything he can to live here. Is going to get hit by that slow. Nowhere to go. Actually gets sniped by Encore on the Zeph from the top side. And again, TLD out very early at 11. After what was looking like they were maybe going to get some early kills through there.
They, just like Icarus before them, flew too close to the sun and got burned for it. They went after everything. Lemur committed so heavy to secure that kill and couldn't get out in time. But again, or if, as we saw, in the moment of them trying to get the box res, that gave PSA all the opportunity they needed to jump on them. That one big misstep. And TLD, that was the team I was trying to talk about before that action broke out. We talk about comps, they're the ones who every scrim, they're always going for the win, but they're like, okay, this game, let's try comp built around Void. All right, I'm going to go Eva. What can we build around Eva? So it's the idea of like, okay, let's take a hunter and see what can we do to make them work. What is a comp? And so it's tragic to see them go out in 11th. Their tournament hopes dashed, as they might be able to get top 3 still based off prior, but I don't know if they're going to be able to.
Yeah, and PSA, you know, kind of one of the teams causing that action, looking really good over there, able to secure that Vive Soul for themselves. So PSA looking to put together a strong game 6 here, and those are some pretty, you know, when you look at the players on that team, it's kind of the, some, again, not like years of playtesting, but at this point, you know, months of scrims and starting to really scale up and look good. And so one of these, you know, teams to look out for here, potentially going to put up big numbers in game 6. They got the Kingpin, bro. Going to be able to get those grabs through, guarantee some engage to set up the Carbine myth.
I love seeing the KP come out. Final game, cards on the table. Let's see who wants to play what. And they go to the comfort pick of Kingpin. And look at this, Palm, who recently rezzed, able to just chip because nobody wants to overcommit because there's teams to the east and west. And one of those teams are Moonlit Battlegrounds. And I also want to point out Go Hogs was able to secure the armor soul for themselves. So that'll be great as it gets to the end game if they're able to make it there to keep their armor just up and refreshed. If they could combine that with like an armor shredder or something, even then without it, they're going to be sitting in a very good spot if they can capitalize and if they can survive till that.
Definitely. And we take a look right here at Cat's gear. Full gold, still looking very strong. Want to be, you know, looking for a little more kills here probably, but happy to just kind of play objectives and take what comes their way. We see 10 to the north of them and NBA to the left. One member from CVC down as the other two kind of way split down in Enshrine. And Nutty to the south of them as well. So Nutty we saw kind of on the poverty start after that losing fight, trying to just get back in it here, but he's going to get caught out by Jay. Instant deleted and another train kill. Woo woo!
Choo choo, magical. You are happy right now to see at least 3 go down courtesy of train. As Scrub McLord, fancy movement right there, taking the chain into the anomaly portal to get out, but now you're trapped on a little island.
It's so tough. Brawl be brawl battle here. Oh! Almost gets dunked, gets away, but then gets sniped by the grapple, and so in the end is going to get taken down there. Unfortunate, but that is going to put us at 9 squads left as we see everyone kind of starting to vie for positioning, look for what's going to be happening as this next shift kind of moves to the top right. From the Battlegrounds Academy, Japanese Spy throwing down a 2-way over here in Desert, cooking up some plans. Not sure what's going on over there. Encore down from, is that number 4 train kill here?
No, that would have been that would have been an instant though. But I want to point something out too. If you look, all the teams in Enshrine, when it hits daytime, there's not a lot of creeps in there. So they're they portal to Wisp. So these teams that are having to like move in, they're gonna have to farm these people. Oh, huge Bebo boombox coming in to save them from Schreikel Jordan.
You see Hog actually eliminating NBA, so we saw Chinese Spy earlier in the desert trying to cook something up, maybe had an unfortunate teleport or something. Height grapples through, gets the spike, a kill onto the side of CBC. So MB's like, you know, looking not crazy, but definitely starting to stack some kills, finding maybe themselves in a pinch position as SVI moves in from the south, and GCR does have intel on them as well. We see Onford in the bush, kind of just hiding out, getting intel for his team. Fight is going to break out here as Thank You looking for the Tonk Tonk, isn't going to be able to connect. When the Battlegrounds playing it nice and patiently, we see multiple teams posturing around the map. 2 squads posturing to the left, 2 squads posturing to the north. Everyone kind of looking for their fight here. Thank You maybe looking to force things, push GCR into the arms of another team as Moonlit Battleground shows up. Height looking for the dunk, not quite able to get it through as the Encore able to get the mantle, I think, off of that dunk. Cat looking here though, has their gold power, wants to leverage it. and it is just going to be carnage out here. Twin, we see Hans trying to commit, go down, two-way teleport through. Stevenator is over here by himself on the other side of the map. No way that works.
Oh my, there's no world that he got. What a hook right there, but he goes into the abyss. He had to, sorry, Sprokane had to give up because he went into the abyss and he would have fallen to his death, so he had to give up on the dunk and play life instead, but it worked out because his team was there to cover, as now PSA, who was looking so strong, just got third, fourth, and fifth partied and could not make it out right there. Stevenator having to make a move. SVI, I think it's just too strong right now, but they're going to notice.
Oh, no, he gets caught out, bro. Berserker catches him at the last second, doesn't want to overcommit, knows there's like 8 squads lurking, trains flying through at mock speed. Stevenator still going to be in such a rough spot here. 10 sees he is the last player alive, knows they probably have space on this top side of the map. I imagine they're going to be looking to kind of pinch Steve in here. Not going to really have many options. Has that Saros portal, though, Twin. Can always, you know, find a cheeky angle, potentially.
It looks like that, but look, he's being guarded by 10 up there. And as MB, and I'm assuming Cat, yes, MB and Cat kind of poking at each other. The two strong teams. But MB has to look south as all of a sudden the Europeans come out strong. They're able to drop it. They were hoping for the dunk, and Moonlit Battlegrounds, our probably #1 spot, is having to run. Okay, too strong. Oh, he had a Fate Rewinder, so Height was able to resync up with Spade Storms. But look at Cat. Look at where they're looking. Look at the train! Lots goes down. Choo, choo, brother. As all of a sudden, it's turned on their head. The train weakens another.
Wow, crazy. 4th kill for the train this game. Absolutely going off. Doing it for Magical out here. Not able to join us, but here in Spirit, Heights under so much pressure. You're going to get sniped by Tredsy, locking in that kill point for CBC. And it's just been crazy amount of action for the last couple of minutes everywhere on the map. Teams duking out here. 10 putting pressure. Nice shift in by TNN. Dylan following up with the pump. Encore is down. Boombox is down, but not going to be able to do much with it, as Jetski does have that Fate Rewinder, is going to grapple his way out of there. And his teammate did make it out of the south with Spade Storms lurking in the bush. Last member left isn't going to get spotted out. This could be the end for both the Battlegrounds in Game 6, and it is.
Okay, so they have to hope their lead is good enough. And look, they didn't check the spot with Blaz, and now, or Blaze Burker. And Cat gets pushed. Huge.
No.
Lots of damage coming in from the storm.
Dude, this is such a rough spot for Cat. It was looking so good. The Boombox is pretty good. Kenneth has 20 seconds on this crown. He's just getting sprayed down by Tredsy. Just too much damage there. All of a sudden, Nidhogg going to be the last one left. Sprokane gets the grab, misses the slam, trying to ulti. Nidhogg sidestepping like a maniac, gets out of there with a whoosh. Somehow able to dodge that grapple, and in the end, the slam comes through from Sprokane, puts him into the abyss, and just like that, Cat is gone.
Coming out so big, so aggressive, and able to capitalize on Cat's crown to keep themselves strong. And now they just have to take that second reset. You've got your golds. You've got really good powers. I'm going to assume Tredsy with that has a base camp that he's ready to drop at a moment's notice, or at least they're going to go fishing for one, which looks like they're going to take this base camp right here. Oh no, I was wrong. Tredsy does have it. SVI on the ropes, so having to run.
This is the Cheeseburger Gang is having fun this game, bro. These boys, our EU boys, are pumping. We see the gold armors, we see the Fate Rewinder Boombox looking very strong, but 10 doesn't care. They're putting so much damage out. They're forced to take the warp through the wall, but it's going to put him right into the arms of this battle between SVI and a remaining member of that, and it's just so much damage coming out. Aiden trying to live, but there's nothing he can do. Has both those exotic powers down. Sprokane gets out with the train, but 10 actually exerting so much pressure here, kind of dominating the map.
Oh no, Sprokane tried to go for a hook, and just like that, Dylan drops Tredsy. This was a game where I was going to say, if EU is one of the strongest on the map right now, 10 is the strongest, and they are flexing that strength, absolutely shredding this European team, and here comes the ult. Do you get out of this? I don't see a world.
Do not. So Sprokane goes down there off the back of Dylan. They still have Tredsy left on the tracks over here. Maybe has a prayer, is going to be able to buy a crown. Look at how small this next circle is going to be. Going to have virtually no space to work with, nowhere to go. Taking a look at our train rolling through. We are coming on the tracks. It is going to get tight in here.
Oh, if the train killed somebody, that would have been the most cinematic shot in SUPERVIVE history as we talk Tonkin.
Massive Tong Tong coming through from Thank You. Instantly deletes Dylan. Boombox down trying to res, but he forces him out. Huge bat into the storm. Thank You going crazy. Wants this game for SVI. TNN just doing everything he can to hold him up, but there's literally nothing he can do in the 3v1. Getting it, put in the arm. Tredsy looking to proc the crown, but he can't quite do it. SVI guaranteeing that kill through, stopping the crown from Tredsy. Actually so huge there, Twin, that SVI got that killing blow.
My bad, I said Sprokane, you're right. It is Tredsy. He was so close, and that was a matter of half a second for who got it. And Thank You does not want to give him an opportunity.
Oh, he has literally nowhere to go. Tries to shift across. Berserker with the Bright Shield just completely stops him. Thank You having an insane performance here, putting SVI on the map, and they're gonna do it. It's just one member left for 10. RTK has a dream, gonna try everything he do, but has literally nowhere to go on the Jewel, feathering for a heal. But his options are so limited. SVI owns control here, and I don't know what RTK is gonna do, and he can't do anything. So just like that, SVI come out of nowhere. The calculated Bebo plan comes together, and they take game 6. And the train takes 2 more. Let's go.
The train says happy birthday on the way out the door. Get those last two.
So good.
So SVI
left.
I don't know.
And you have MB at 107, TLD at 84. Oh, that is okay. Whatever. TLD at 84, SVI at 82. So that was a huge jump. And NBA somehow went from 3rd to 7th, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it was pretty interesting scores. What do you guys think?
I'm actually dumbfounded with how close it was that if TLD didn't get 11th,
Yeah.
like they actually had a good fighting shot.
Yeah,
For sure. And it was like, did we ever confirm that they got 30 kills in that game? Because it had to have been something close to put them, you know,
What game was that?
based on
Game 4.
Game 4 they got 19.
Okay.
Still, like
Still a lot.
we were thinking
It's
maybe
definitely
like
the
right
most.
around 20. Definitely a monster performance. That is not easy to do, especially in a lobby like this, right?
But okay, what's even more crazy? They got 21 kills in game 5. There we go. He added me.
I was just going to ask that, and they got
Yeah.
3rd.
There he is.
What's the play? Cold shoulder?
Fine, are you there?
So anyways, as I was saying, the best Zeph to ever do it. Oh, I'm sorry. What's up?
Oh, hello.
There he is.
Hello.
What up?
Yo, it's good.
Congratulations on the win. How do
Thank you. I feel like we griefed the last 3 games, but
Yeah. I was like, what are you guys doing?
nah, I don't want to blame it on our comp, but our comp is definitely really bad when there's like 20 teams alive in the end zone. Like people, like every team having like Oath and like Arbine, and they're just gonna grief the team with like Zeph for all. It is what it is.
They tried. It didn't work.
It didn't work the first 3 games. I think it did work the last 3. We were griefing so hard. I don't know. TLD's just like infinite kills that one game, and they just wiped us like in 2 seconds.
I had a question for you. How did it feel to be, in a series and just pretty much be the reason that you guys won the championship? Like, I was getting Michael Jordan vibes from the way you played the one game where you had literally revived your teams 3 times by getting the crown and just killing someone, and it was phenomenal. What was going through your mind, and was that just an everyday thing for you, or did it feel like something special was going on that game?
To be honest, it is just an everyday thing, but that's because I play Arena, and only noobs play Arena. But also, like the Zeph game where we played E-plat and like Narnia, and like we just wiped everyone. Everyone's just standing still on an E-plat, and then the nade is like the exact size as the E-plat, and like they're just asking for it. Like they're just asking for it. It wasn't even like impressive or anything.
Oh, it was impressive to us.
Okay.
I have a question. So what was like the team that you were worried about the most?
It's gotta be TLD, right? So I think the only, I thought Cat could maybe contest, but they picked Firefox half the games. I'm pretty sure Kenneth has never played that character in his life. So it's just TLD pretty much.
So
Okay.
Why do you?
I actually have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off there. So I thought of this more, and I'm glad we got you in here because I had to ask you this, but there was a moment where you were in a 1v2 and you were just one LMB away from winning that entire thing. And it just felt like even when you have to retreat, when you're having to scrap and show the hands, you seem to notice everything around you at all times, to the point that it almost feels like your superpower is like you just slow down time and you're able to stop and evaluate the moment. Like, do you have any advice for newer players for like how you're able to just quickly absorb everything on a screen and make the right decision in that moment?
I mean, I think that just kind of comes from like playing the game a lot, right? It's like eventually you play the game enough, and then like you practice in scrims enough, and I don't know, you just like see the right thing. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but you like, I don't know, you just play the game more and you'll get better at it. Like your mental stack like gets better because you don't have to focus. Like when you're new, you have to focus on like one thing at a time. But like if you've done it like 1,000 times, then it's like second nature at that point. So everything's like a lot easier to understand and like grasp in like in the clutch or whatever.
On a real note, do you like think that getting a lot of arena reps in, where you get a ton of that, you know, micro interactions between hunters, their kits, their abilities, how they play into each other, you're getting like, you know, constant, really heated, even reps of that without the sort of like chaos of BR interfering? Like for newer players, would you recommend the arena grind or having that be part of their sort of repertoire of SUPERVIVE?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think playing arena is better practice for like tournaments than playing like ranked. Like ranked is you like don't even fight that much. You just run around, run away perma, and you just like you're not even interacting with other people. Like, but if you're playing arena, you're actually playing the game. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, you can win games just by like being better than your opponents, and like if you are better, then I don't know, the rest of the game plays itself pretty much.
Love it.
Mine has not played ranked with
It's
me.
awesome. Sorry.
I've run it, everyone. How do you who's really the main shot caller on your team when it comes to where you guys are going to position, where you're going to run, what the game plan is? Who's the person generally making those types of calls?
I do most of the IGL stuff, like dropping and like positioning and stuff.
Okay. Cool. I don't have another question.
Yeah, I mean, if like Spades or Heights see something that I don't, then like obviously they'll call it. But like most of the let's go here, let's do this, that's me.
Okay. Does that extend to while you guys actually are fighting as well? Are there a lot of comms in, or is it a lot more quiet and you guys are kind of just doing your thing?
I mean, when we're fighting or just calling like important cooldowns to watch out for, and just go, I'm going in, la 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 la, last alive, kill him, focus TLD, grief TLD.
Beautiful. I love it. Luna, did you have a question? I thought you were going to say something earlier.
I was just going to ask, what do you think is it? So, what do you think is it that sets apart MB? Because you know, you guys won the last 3 scrims. You won this. I think you won maybe like the last 1 or 2 tournaments before this one. Like, what do you think is it that sets MB apart from the other teams?
I mean, I don't want to say we're just like better at like micro, but I think it definitely comes from we're playing like a lot more consistently in scrims than like most other teams. Like we're in scrims like every single day, so we're getting like the most practice. Like even some other teams take breaks sometimes, but I think definitely just consistency in showing up in scrims, and also consistency in like the game and focusing on learning. Like some of these teams in scrims are like just playing for fun and not really playing to like get better. I think like over half of the scrim teams just like play for fun instead of like focusing on getting better.
Makes sense.
I love that.
All right.
On that note, didn't you guys reach out to like Tom Kick for coaching? Did you already get that, or
That was for the
that-
apprentice team.
Oh, I
I mean,
apologize.
we did some VOD review with Tom Kick this morning, or not this morning, like 2 hours before the tournament started.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
It was basically like, well, I mean, I think first of all, EU and NA can learn so much from each other that like any NA
That's
team
true.
that wants to get better, you can just DM Tom Kick and like this guy will help you get better like almost instantly.
Facts. Shout out to Tom Kick.
Truth.
He's helped
Yeah,
out
shout
MB a
shout out
lot.
Tom Kick.
when I
Our rates are better.
What?
Just figured I'd let you know. I said our rates are better. You know, me, Twin, and Zick. Just like
Oh yeah, if you want coaching, yeah, I got you.
easy, done.
No, I actually, that's generally why I asked. It was the concept of crossover between EU and NA, like play styles, especially because, as you said, we can learn so much from each other. So I'm glad personally to hear that like you VOD reviewed with Tom Kick, because his concepts of macro are just so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people like I don't know, they just don't think when they make plays. They just see an enemy team and they just want to fight, and they don't even like look back after they die to see like why their decision got them killed. They just like, oh, I got third partied, unlucky, go next.
I think that's an interesting point. I think positioning goes and it touches on what me and Zick were discussing a little bit earlier. Was you get third partied if you take forever to kill a team. So when you make that decision, it kind of needs to be a bit decisive. And if a team comes, position in a way so you're not in the middle of them. And just think about, was it a bad fight? Was it poorly executed? Should you position differently? But there's so many different things you can do to avoid a third party or come out on top.